Over in Singapore, another performing art group is taking fusion art to a different level. Singapore is a multicultural society that is filled with a rich and diverse heritage. With more than 5 major ethnic groups, the country is a harmonious collage of various cultures and communities. Indians are one of the main ethnic groups in Singapore. The Indian classical music tradition is one of the oldest in the world. Spanning millennia and developed over eras, it remains the source of spiritual inspiration and cultural expression till the very day. Out of the hundreds of Indian classical musical instruments, Sitar and Tabla are 2 of the most popular and well-known musical exports, thanks to their highly melodious quality. Nestled at the heart of Singapore's multicultural neighborhood is a family who has embraced 2 diverse cultures.
We are very in tune into the Indian culture, and we love Indian food and as well as Indian music.
Not only does the Tan family share an active Indian lifestyle, they also enjoy playing traditional Indian instruments. The band consists of Krsna on the sitar and his brother Govin, who plays the tabla, and their cousin Dexter on the violin. Though the band only started performing seriously 5 years ago, the group members had begun their musical journeys since young. Krsna started playing the sitar at the age of 5. At the age of 12, he won the National Indian Music Competition in the open category. He was also the first non-Indian to have won the title. The sitar has 19 strings, 6 strings on top and 13 strings below. The 13 strings below are called sympathetic strings. The performer does not directly play on the sympathetic strings. Instead, they vibrate as the top strings are played to create a resonance.
They are tuned in the sense that whatever I play on top will allow the bottom to ring. So, as an example, if I were to, let's say, block all this off and I strum and I cut the string, you hear no resonant sound. But if I leave it open and if I strum it right now, it's going to resonate even though I cut the top string like this. You still hear that fine sound at the back. And in Indian music, we don't call it do, re, mi, fa, sol. We call it sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. So sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa.
Govin, on the other hand, took a longer time to discover his talent.
He started off with the sitar, guitar, piano, sarod, and realized it didn't work out for him because every instrument he takes, he breaks them all. But when he was 12 years old, he picked up the tabla, and after playing the tabla for a short while, he realizes that he did not break the tabla because the tabla broke him.
2 years later, at the age of 14, he also became the first non-Indian to win in the intermediate categories in the National Indian Music Competition.
Basically, the tabla is, they have the right side and the left side. The right side is the treble, means high pitched. The left side is the bass, meaning low frequencies, low pitch. The thing that this black dot do is what we call the shiaye. What this thing do is to create the resonance. If you can see the fine cracks in the tabla, in the shiaye. And these are the fine cracks that create the resonance. It's ringing. It's ringing.
5 years ago, the brothers decided to step out of the conventional path of playing Indian music and venture into fusion music. They roped in their cousin Dexter, who plays the violin, and took on the name of Flame of the Forest.
Flame of the Forest, we do more like world music, but yet we also do covers, and we do jazz, rock and roll, you know, funk, Latin, we call it swing, yeah, classical, Indian, Western and Chinese. Dexter has a very important role in Flame of the Forest because he is the voice of Flame of the Forest. Being able to hold the note on the violin, it's very important because the sitar, we have very short notes, and the violin has the characteristics of behaving like a singer.
The first one goes just normal. The second one is
This is the good experiment and improvisation in the music and orchestra field. Improvisation is very necessary, you know, because same thing you listen every time. One day you say is enough. But if you have some variation, you create some more things, you add some more variations in that, then the interest always stay there.
As classical musicians, stepping out from their comfort zone to create fusion music was not an easy feat for the band.
For example, if we were to play jazz, let's say Minor Swing by Django Reinhardt, so we would listen to the original tune first. And then we will also listen to other renditions by other instrumentalists to get a bit of idea here and there. After that, we will only pick up the main melodic line, the things that you will sing in your head after you hear the song, and that's the melodic line. So we create an arrangement based on the melodic line and how we want to arrange our piece.
Besides doing covers, the band also composed their own original songs. Decorated Soldier was inspired by the journey of a soldier, with the opening symbolizing the start of the war. The song ends with 3 strikes on the cymbal as a mark of respect for the soldier that has passed on. Both Krsna and Govin are indebted to their father for instilling the Indian culture in them, making them amongst the best Indian classical musicians in Singapore today. Krsna and Govin did not pick up the Indian instruments by themselves. It was their father, Krsna Tan, who started their Indian musical journey.
I started off playing the sitar when I was 5 years old under my father's guidance. And how it actually started off was because he has a very huge love for music and he would love to share his love for music with me. And being that young, it wasn't much of a choice that I made, but it was a choice he made for me, which I really love and appreciate today.
Back in the 80s, Krsna Tan formed a band called Flame of the Forest with 2 of his other friends. He went to India to study Indian classical music. There, he met Sitar legend Ravi Shankar and was trained under one of his disciples.
When I heard the sitar on the radio one morning, and it really touches my heart so much. It's really, really captivating, haunting, and very soulful, very, very soulful. I say, this is it. This is the instrument I want to play.
Kenny lived in India on and off for 10 years, training under his Sitar guru. The experience has transformed him and turned him into a devout follower of the Indian culture.
I went to Mathura, you know, the birthplace of Krishna, and of course the Taj Mahal, and all over India. That's how I thought, wow, you know. Chinese we say 井底蛙, we only a frog in a well, you know, who jump out of the well and saw the whole ocean and just becomes like, you know, overwhelmed by it and become humbled by that thing. I thought, when I come back to Singapore, I said, I want to share this with somebody else. And the person that I really want to share with is the people that I love. And who else do you love more than your own children?
Since ancient times, Indian classical music has been passed down through oral tradition, from guru to disciple. The musical tradition cannot be acquired through learning from notes or books.
My teacher would say, ta, tin, tun, teta. I would play whatever he says, ta, tin, tun, teta. So every note has a way of saying it. And every way of playing it is the same way how you say it. It's like singing singing with your instrument.
Govin is a nutcut tabla player. Nutcut means a chanchal. You know, he never write any word. You say the word, he will memorize in one time.
For Kenny to pass down his musical legacy to his sons, he had to enforce a strict training regime with them since young.
I tried to bring India to Singapore and in the home, and those practices that we did with Krsna and Govin was really, really intense.
There is no excuse that you want to go out so you miss your practice. But of course we do understand that school is important. But daily, Flame of the Forest practice 4 hours a day together and 4 hours individually, without fail.
Since 2007, Krsna and Govin started to perform seriously and carried on the legacy of Flame of the Forest from their father. However, they knew they had to find their own identity as the new generation of the band. In order to achieve that, they had to create their own distinctive sound.
The old Flame of the Forest was a bit more 80s, 70s because it's in their time, and that's the kind of music they're listening to. And right now, the new Flame of the Forest means our band. We are a bit more modern.
In preparation for their upcoming performance happening at Singapore Esplanade Waterfront, they head to a music shop to fine-tune their instruments.
Very cool. I love it. Very cool. I love it.
The important thing about choosing a skin is to make sure that the cracks, like we talked about, the resonant crack in the middle, is very fine, and the cracks are not too big. Otherwise, when you play it or when you fix it on, the cracks will fall off. Okay. Second thing also, you need to check for evenness of the quality of the skin. If it's a bit dark, means you know the maker is a bit more lazy. Then they didn't really scrape the skin well enough. So everything must be nice and fine and equal.
For the performance, the band will be debuting their theme song, Flame of the Forest.
We're not so much of worried or pressured, but we're more excited and thrilled to do the show. We want to see the reaction from the audience when we perform.
The stage is all set, and the audience has started to arrive.
The Flame of the Forest is what we want to be our theme song. Because Flame of the Forest, that particular song emphasizes a lot on space and also the sound of nature, of what we would like to include, like bird sounds, trees rustling.
There was some feeling, it was very touching. I really like the violin player, Dexter. He plays very sweet, mellow, and very wonderful melody.
The performance was fantastic because I have never seen Chinese boys playing Indian and also classical music.
They are extraordinary talented people here. I cannot believe that in this young age they are doing so nice work.
With their fusion music, the musicians show that they can master a traditional art and make it more accessible to the global audience. In the world of fusion art, boundaries and limits no longer exist. Through the performing artists, we experience the endless possibilities of art.